All right. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, who just right now joined the stream. We just started a couple of minutes ago, and we are here with the last matchup of today and the last matchup of the entirety of the first round of Swiss stage. And today, I am not the only one in the commentary booth because we have a special guest, and guess what? It's Baz, our lovely host. So you have two hosts in the commentary booth. So yep, I guess that's pretty fun. And how about hello Baz, how are you doing? Yep, no problem. Yeah, no, I get you. Oh, oh, all right. But I don't think they can hear you on start and soon screen. Oh, oh, hold on, Baz. They can hear me with that. They cannot hear you. That is pretty funny. All right. Then I can cover for now as Baz is currently fixing up some stuff because yeah, Baz is multitasking, streaming and commentating. So do not judge that strictly. But yeah, otherwise, looking from the ref sheet, we got Sweden banning Nomad 1 and Netherlands banning HD1, which means you have two of those consistency based maps just out of the way. And overall, when looking at both of the teams, they are actually quite well rounded in terms of stats. You look at both of them, and literally, it's that Sweden. They are top one. They vary from top one to top 10 on literally everything, except for example alt. Alt is their lowest seeds, which is Nomad 3 and DT3, which they got C12s on. And then, yeah, otherwise, Sweden is very much well balanced. They also got some crazy placements like top one on DT1, top two on Hardrock 1, and top three on Nomad 4. And then Netherlands, they are also super strong, super well balanced, even though they are C12. Their highest placement is top 6 on HD1, therefore you have that band from Sweden because it's their best kind of skill set. And then lowest placement on Hard Rock 2, which is top 16. But otherwise, everything else is within that 6 to 16 range. So you can make the conclusion for yourself that it is pretty damn balanced for both of those teams. So it is really hard to predict which team will pick what map, and we shall just wait and see. I believe so far we have seen the first pick from Team Netherlands, which is DT3, which is your alt map that Sweden, as we already brought up, is not that grateful playing. And yeah, that makes complete sense. DT3 is your alt snappy map at around 160, 170 BPM. And in before speaking this map, I have really mixed feelings about it. You just had Poland Quad FC the map, and then you had a lot of different teams barely managing to hold on to one or two FCs. So, it's based on the skill sets of those teams. Netherlands seems like they just decided to trust their instincts, try to go with something that Sweden is not the most comfortable on, and we will get to see if it actually pays off or not. Oh god, yep. I understand. I understand. Yeah, so gotta wait one more minute before we actually see that. We kind of missed that. Oh, oof. Okay, I see. I see. Yeah, I see that. That is unfortunate. So yeah, it seems like that DT3 was played off stream, and guess what? Netherlands won the map. It was their first pick, and it paid off. Really, really unfortunate that we're not able to cover what happened. But as of what MPLink says, is that actually they ended up with Unveiled Golem completely destroying this map with 98% accuracy, getting over 1 million score, and all the other three Dutch players getting 700k on the map, so that is a really strong start from them. And Sweden, they put up a great fight as well. There was an FC from Sige and there was 900k from UG69 too. And then it was just not enough for the support. So 100k score difference, that lead was not massive, but they just needed that consistent win, just slight advantage, and that was more than enough for them, Baz. But yeah, I believe we're finally here with the client. Am I right? Oh, oh, hold on. They're popping up one by one. Surely we got this, guys. But yeah, once again, getting some troubles over here. It seems like what Sweden replied with is going to be that Fremont 1 option, which seems to be a fairly popular option from many of the countries that we've already covered. It is your consistency slash awkward aim slash basically mechanics, and it is a 5.5 star map, and it is probably one of the easiest maps in the pool, and also it has a pretty interesting easy score multiplier, and we've seen a lot of teams take easy mods on it already, so we shall wait and see if Sweden will indeed take some mods on it. But I believe as we're finally here, and can you please say something so that we know that people can hear you? All right, hold on. Baz is not here with the audio. He is adding the source currently. But yeah, otherwise, we're finally here. We're seeing the lineups already. It's gonna be Rania Kumo with Hard Rock, Uge692 with HD Hard Rock, Pompei was easy actually, and Sige, same thing. The easy multiplier is 2.4x. So if you FC that map and you get like 500k, you're gonna get actually, let me do my math real quick. It's around 1.2 million or 1.4 million. So that is a massive score if you manage to actually FC that map with easy. For Devrimon, same situation. Picked easy. Botterham with no fail for that stable score, and Simifly with Hardok did not manage to see what Heavy Metal for Life went with, but assuming there was Force mod, and Heavy Metal is basically a hyper carry that is very versatile in skill sets, so he could go with either Hidden or Hardok, but no, he actually went with Hidden Hardok, so that is a stacked mod combinations from both of the players, and we shall wait and see. But please, ladies and gentlemen, keep in mind that that scorecard that you're seeing is not quite accurate, because you have three easy players, and all the score multipliers, they will get calculated a bit later after the map ends. But so far, it is 130k score advantage to the side of Team Netherlands. There is 8 FCs going on currently, and basically Sweden is just being short behind because of those easies, and that doesn't really matter because with the multipliers it's going to be pretty much equal situation here. The accuracies are good across the board except UG69 Shin2 with 92% actually. But since it is HDHR, you are still getting that decent multiplier compared to all the other players who are just one modding, who just have one mod on top of no fail, so it's not that bad. Currently we're entering the first KI section and oh my god, both of the teams, they are actually doing quite incredible currently. 700 combo across the board. And those easy players are insane. Everyone was just assessing the map a couple of seconds ago. Finally dropped a couple of 100s, but this is looking really spicy currently.
It's definitely interesting. It's gonna be really close, and the easy multipliers are probably gonna make up for the big difference between the teams because the easy multipliers for these maps are quite big. So it's only a matter of time if Sweden can take the lead in the easy multiplier section, as we see Devermon breaking on one of the easy FCs, so that's actually going to be a huge blow for Netherlands as they lose the FC. CM Fly also breaks, Yugichin and Coleman also trading, and it's really looking badly right now for both teams. The hidden HR goes for Sweden as well as the easy, alongside with another hard rock from Netherlands, and obviously the earlier break from Devermon on the easies. Not exactly great, but as long as Sweden keeps holding as Rani Akumo just finds a break on the HR, it's really bad looking. Only Siga left with the easy FC.
Yep, of course, Siga, the most experienced, the strongest player on the Swedish side, can play literally everything except those crazy tapping maps. Right now he's trying it once again, but you know, you have Heavy Metal for life here. Both of them actually finding a break, so not gonna be so great for him. It is just Heavy Metal against Siga, the two carries against each other. You a really clean duel right here. There is 570k score difference, Baz, and with multipliers, I'm actually not quite sure how it's gonna end up. Is Heavy Metal unfortunately finding that break by the end of the map?
Oof, I think it's gonna be really close. I think with the multipliers added, it's gonna be like a couple thousand score difference between these two teams, especially considering that everyone pretty much matches Pompeii scores, but it's all in that FC from Siga with the really strong accuracy. It's pretty much just gonna come down to it if that score difference can make up for the lack of FCs on Sweden's side. And in general, overall, there's not a lot of there was a lot of breaks, especially at the end, and obviously Heavy Metal for Life also finding that unfortunate break at the end. I don't think it's exactly the player that's gonna be super detrimental for them, but yeah, it's just not.
Yeah, I mean, no, you're right. That's not it. We just need to see what score referee calculates and tells us which team actually wins the map. So it's gonna take quite a while, but so far, Baz, if you ask me, both of the teams are actually quite versatile when it comes to those free mods. They have all of their specialists needed for both Hidden and Hardox, and also they got some crazy reading players. Like we saw Devermon, we of course saw Siga with that FC, only 5 100s dropped, which is massive, which is a massive score. And yeah, with this tendency, honestly, if some of these players will pick Prima 2, I'm really scared to see what mod combinations we will get to see. But honestly, just speaking in before, thinking that it's gonna be quite close in the Fremod 1 outcome, I would not risk it. I would not pick Fremod 1 or Fremod 2 if I was either of these teams, because it's just too high of a risk for both of them. Kind of RNG, kind of a coin flip.
My chat disappeared and I don't know where it went.
The chat disappeared.
That's a thing I did not see before. The chat is just gone. Like, I am still in it. The chat is just gone. Okay, I can see the chat myself, but I can't. It doesn't show up on the laser client for some reason.
All right. What does it say?
Sweden apparently got a total score of 3,431,000. But we have to wait for the Netherlands score as well.
Oh, I know those calculations are taking quite a while. But yeah, so far, it is going to be the Dutch turn to actually pick a next map, and you know they won that DT3, even though it was not such a convincing victory, even though there was not such a crazy gap between the teams, they still had the upper hand on it. And considering this DT3 was an alt map, a snap alt map, I think the good take would be something like normal 3, since that's the only normal 3, that's the only alt map left in the pool. But of course, you do see that Sweden actually bans no mod 1, so maybe you could try and go for something like DT1, which is another consistency heavy map, just like no mod 1. So we have multiple options right now, you know, and you can try. You won your first map, you still have some maps to actually, you actually have some points to lose, so doesn't matter as much as just the beginning of the game, and the situation is pretty much equal.
Okay.
And we still don't even know.
Update. Netherlands has 3,300,000, so that means Sweden wins by 130k. Sorry to interrupt, but just had to say that because the chat is not
All
showing.
good.
So yeah, a bit annoying. I think the also clients decided the one time I have to stream, give me all the technical issues as much as possible. So that's a bit annoying, but we're managing as much as we possibly can.
Yep, that is correct. That is correct. So in the end, as expected, Sweden got their first point. Even though Heavy Metal for Life got the whopping 1 million score with HDHR, that was not quite enough because Sigay, with that insane gimmick performance, just blew everyone out of the water. And now we have 1-1 Nomad 5 being picked from what I'm seeing. Am I right, Baz?
Yes, Nomad 5 has been picked by Netherlands as they clearly seem to be enjoying the speed map quite a lot. They picked it as soon as the map, as the free mod 1 ended, so they were really eager to get into it. They just couldn't hold any longer, so they truly just wanted they just wanted it to happen already. So yeah, it's getting underway as we speak. Not a lot of changes. We see Face Theory and Girl-Liker coming in for Team Sweden, as well as I think Nick and Desmet making their debut for Netherlands in the match, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
I think those two have not shown their faces in the free mod 1. Maybe they would have helped a bit, probably not. The easy multiplier really just helped Sweden quite a lot on that map. But yeah, already for this first section.
Yeah, we'll see.
4 ways FCs for both teams.
Yeah, and this is what I was kind of expecting. This is quite fascinating to see because, you know, both of those teams, they are stable, they rely on their carries, they rely on their supports, and this is what makes it beautiful. But UG692 is gonna be the first one to actually drop first blood in this map. And yeah, so far, even though the accuracy is on the side of Team Sweden, it's gonna slowly but surely shift towards Netherlands.
It's slowly but surely shifting to the Netherlands. Netherlands has a bit of the overall better accuracy. Nick is struggling a bit on the accuracy front, but everyone else is helping them as well. But Sweden is also really close there in accuracy, so it could come to one of these streams just full 100ing, and that'll be pretty much over. It's also that Urgachin also broke a bit early on, which is kind of dragging Sweden a bit down, but if we get any breaks from the side of Netherlands... Oh! We see there a huge drop from Heavy Metal on that slider, so, and a couple of hundreds to measure. That is looking really, really badly for Netherlands. Now we're heading into the last third of the map, and Sweden has so much combo on their table.
Yeah, Sweden they gained that momentum that they needed. They smell blood in the water, and yeah, now they are just hunting their prey. Their 70k score difference. UG69 though is gonna miss once again, but he's not the one who was holding the full combo. It's Face Terry, Ranikum, and Girl-Liker who are currently just grabbing stars from the sky, and they do not seem to stop. There is only one potential thing that might stop them, and that is the last tap-in section that Netherlands need to pray that they break on.
Yeah, it's not looking really likely, especially. Oh my god, this is an absolute kerfuffle from the side of Netherlands. They found so many breaks on their Nick as well. There's just no combos on the side of Netherlands. You say Netherlands were spraying, Sweden was breaking, but I don't think that's gonna happen, as Sweden will end up with 2 FCs, a 99 accuracy from FaZe Terry as well, which is a really impressive score on this type of map.
Yeah, no, it's like Netherlands dropped their swords mid-fight and the counter came instantly. It is a break point because it was Netherlands' pick and now Sweden completely proved everybody wrong, taking it. It's now 2-1 and they are in the driver's seat. Their pick is next and they need to capitalize off that difference. They just established that when it comes to tapping, they are quite better. They are quite better with nerve control than Netherlands, so they might go for something like Noma 2 or DT2, in my opinion. Bez, what are your thoughts?
Considering what we just saw on this, we could see another tapping pick just getting thrown out at them, especially considering it was so dominant throughout the whole map, because if it wasn't for that pick from Lugachin, it would have been a 4-way FC on the Nomad 5, and it's not an easy Nomad 5. It's definitely not a really difficult one if you're a tapping player, but it's definitely not easy, and especially keeping that consistency to grab themselves free FCs and almost another one as well. It truly says how scary Sweden is on tapping maps, and I feel like if they pick anything else, it might be the Nomad 2. Unfortunately, we are not correct, as they will be going into the Hidden 2. Another speciality of the Sweden side, getting to see their gimmicky low AR reading come to fruition, especially for Seagate, who is a prolific low AR player. So we'll see how they did. On Fremont 1, it helped them a lot, considering they did really good with the easy multipliers, and I think it could come down to it again, where Sweden might just get the really early lead and just run away with it.
Indeed, and we are seeing that Hidden 2 is your kind of rhythmic, bursty map. Also, a lot of density going into this map, and it is quite long. We saw many upsets on it already earlier in the weekend. And overall, this map not only tests your your reading ability really well, but also your nerve control. Try not to get off guard by the end of the map, because it is quite difficult. So not but it's not on the easier side, it's not on the harder side, it's quite in the middle if you ask me. And this is where your consistency exactly needs to shine the brightest. Let's see if Team Sweden does have what it takes to actually capitalize on the difference. They need that 3-1 lead to secure, stable performance, to secure stable ground, and for that they will have Pompey, Sige, Ran Yakumo, and Uge69, and against them are going to be Botterham, Devrimon, your hidden specialist, Synchrostar, a player coming back from like 2 or 3 years ago, being a crazy tourney player in the past, and of course Heavy Metal for life to top it all off. So seems like a pretty stacked roster. We did not see Devrimon launching, but now we are here back at it. 160 BPM heaven for those gimmick players who have troubles with tapping exactly the specialty of Sige's skill set. So we'll see if he manages to actually pull off another stellar performance like he did on that Fremont 1.
It's gonna be interesting, but so far it's looking pretty shaky for Sweden, as both Sige and Rania Kumo have found breaks early in the map. It's a really long map, so it's gonna be a slow burner this one, but while Netherlands keep those 4 FCs, there goes the Synchrostar as well. So as long as the Netherlands keep those 3 FCs that they have left, it's gonna be really good. Everyone was assessing until that very moment, and now they've also found a break, so score slightly even. I say that while I'm finding the break, so now it's only 1 FC versus 2 recoveries from the side of Sweden. So now Sweden will maybe grab themselves that really good and strong advantage, especially considering this part is a bit more chill compared to the actual KI section. It's still really difficult. It's still AR8. It's still rhythmic, but it's a bit more calm than the rest of the map.
Yeah, but oh my god, it's going south, Baz. You're seeing only Heavy Metal for Life with that FC, while you look on the left side, Randikum and Sige already recovered. You could basically consider that a reverse choke, and Pompey with Uga69 are maintaining insane FCs, with Pompey having 98.7 accuracy, which is a whopping performance right now. And basically, it's just Heavy Metal for Life against the world. Of course, he has those teammates supporting him, but they're breaking one by one as I'm saying that, and you just hate to see that for them.
Yeah, definitely. It's not exactly looking good for Netherlands, and I feel like this is a huge loss that they will have to just take. Unfortunately, not what you want to see, but it's kind of what you expect from the side of Sweden, as they are just a better. I think they're a really good low AR team. I feel like they're one of the better low AR teams in the tournament, and having this map go into them is it's only pretty much a death sentence. So yeah, not a bad performance by Netherlands either, but then again, you look at Sweden and it's like, what can you do against this side? You're looking at 2 FCs and 2 good recoveries after a break at the beginning of the map. There's kind of just a huge mountain to climb in front of you, and unfortunately Sweden will not move out of their way to leave any room for comfort. As I say that, Pompey does find the break and will not end the map. Origin also found the break a bit earlier, but yeah, it's still those 2 recoveries from again Rania Kumo. All the players had over 1000 combo on the map, more than enough for them to secure this win.
No, they just turned the rivalry into one-sided clinic, is what you could very well say about the outcome of this matchup. Heavy Metal for Life, of course, being the last bastion for Team Netherlands, but that was not quite enough. Another FC, another point that you are losing, and Sweden is just here pointing and laughing at what's happening right now. They are at a very stable situation currently. It's honestly not even that bad for Netherlands. They just lost 1 point. They need another one, and they need another break point from Sweden to actually get back on track and get equalized in terms of the match score. They did win that DT3, so they would need to go with. Oh, I believe it does say it's banned here, but I think that is not the case, or unless I'm tripping.
There's some discrepancies here again, because the chat is not here. It's hard to make stuff on the go. I'll put the also. Oh yeah, because I restarted. I think yeah, it doesn't show up. But I know for sure that the blue pick was DT2. Then it went into free mod. No, not the ban. It was pick.
Yep.
I love this client.
So yeah, Team Netherlands, while while Bez is having fun, we could make a little observation here. Now Netherlands are actually going for Nomad 4, a completely different direction that we did not see earlier on into this matchup, because it was DT3, it was ult, then they tried picking a heavy tapping map Nomad 5, and it backfired very crucially on them, and then now they are deciding to change the strategy completely, going for that Nomad 4, which is a map from Vox, a really great tech mapper. Was also a grand finals in 6 EC, a custom Nomad 4 map over there, so we're seeing here, love that. And overall, people, the feedback on this map is quite positive, and I really love to see that. We're seeing Zeus here for Sweden, the first appearance in the matchup. Zeus is a really good, you could say a fill player, but just in general a pretty good all-rounder in the Swiss roster. Okay, 6ix9ine Chin as well here, and we're just waiting for the carry side. I'm pretty sure Sige will show up for Team Sweden, and also expecting to see Randy-Yakuma. Randy-Yakuma is literally the only player in Team Sweden who perma-lobbied all 24 maps out of 24 that they have played, and still managed to plays very comfortably on the top 28 individual slot out of all the players. And yep, there he is. And for the Dutch side, we're finally seeing Simi Fly, a very experienced tournament player, playing all the way back in 5WC, and overall just having a ton of tourney experience for that Nomad 4. You also have Davrimon, Unveiled Golem, and Heavy Metal for Life. This is on paper the lineup of the strongest players that they have in their entire roster. And you know, that 3 minute 40-second Nomad 4 is gonna be a great battlefield for both of those teams who to establish who is better. Davrimon though once again seems like having those launching troubles, but now we're here, we're back. So let's get to see that showcase. And let's see how many FCs we will actually get, as this map is quite difficult for majority of the teams.
Well, being the lowest SR map in the pool is definitely not the map to just, well, apart from the Hidden 2, but it is a map that is quite tricky and mechanically, so it will still probably get to see at least a couple players struggle on this map a bit more than others. However, I do feel like Sweden have the slight advantage going into this, considering it is their pick. I had the picks wrong the whole time and I didn't realize, but yeah, it is, considering it's their pick, it could be a good pick for them, especially considering they're so good at mechanics overall, as well as obviously Sige being their star player and really good. I do say that Sige is the first one to find the breaks. He was right after, so now it's 2 FCs for Sweden going into the 4 of the Netherlands. Netherlands looking really comfortable on this.
Yeah, so far the defense of Team Sweden is cracked, and Netherlands are taking advantage of it. They are the Knights in Shining Armor currently. All of them actually, 4-way FCing. Randycom and Ogi619 are on their tail still though. They are having those crazy accuracy FCs, but so far so good for all of them. And Ogi619 too, finding that break traded by Heavy Metal for Life, but still the balance of power is on the side of Team Netherlands. It's only Ranja Kumo against 3 FCs, and that is a terrible situation that you're in.
It's not looking good. It's especially looking really grim considering there's only half of the map remaining and you still have 3 FCs standing for Netherlands. Sweden might need a miracle to have themselves a chance to fight this one, especially even with the break from Heavy Metal for Life. They're still so far behind and they still have so much to climb. Uga Chain broke as well exactly on the same area, so it's only just looking worse as we get into the last third of the map. The 3 FC stands strong and Sweden is looking to climb back. Unfortunately, the score lead is just continuing to go into Netherlands' favor.
Yeah, Randy Kumo's teammates are collapsing around him, but he is still standing. He's the only one, but Netherlands, you look at them, there's literally, what can you even do against that? 3 80k score difference, and that is colossal advantage for them. That is exactly what they needed. Everyone finding a break despite that difference. It's not gonna change it whatsoever. Now another 2 breaks, but you look at the combo, it's 400k score difference, and the combo is not even gonna matter. It is only 30 seconds of the map left. Sige and Randy Akumo are here, but they are a bit late to the party, and with the final miss from Randy Akumo, that is gonna be the last straw for Sweden.
Yeah, unfortunately we'll not get to see any FCs, but I say unfortunately we still see really impressive scores all around the board, and especially from the side of Netherlands as they absolutely perform out of their minds. They have 2 players on 600k comfortably with really good accuracies, and then we have Simi Fly with that 800k for them. It's definitely a really solid performance from the side of Netherlands. We going from that mispick from Hidden 2 to the mispick of Nomad 4. This is truly a battle of breakpoints so far, and it's only looking to get even better as yeah, this is just gonna be absolutely insane for the rest of the match, considering
Oh, hold on. Not to be nerdy, but I that was the Dutch pick from what I'm seeing. So it's
might be
yeah,
wrong again. I tried to fix it. I may have made it worse.
I got you. I got you. No, it's just the rap sheet says it. It is the pick of Team Netherlands.
since we're at it, we can rewind and look at all of them. So we will have him also good on the laser client, since the laser client decides to not cooperate with me today at all.
Yep, I hope so. But yeah, after all, that was a great way. That was a great way for Team Netherlands to actually take the point, exactly what they need to boost their mental state. And that Nomad 4 actually, that's a thing that's, in overall, that tech department, the tech skill set that they have is quite great. And maybe next time we will see something like Hardrock 1 from them, actually, because Hardrock 1 is also quite techy, and in fact it is very much techy, so might be the way for their next choice. But for now it is Sweden replying with Free-Mod 2 best.
It might be. For some reason the map doesn't show up, even though I have the map, so that's another good thing. It should download automatically, hopefully. Praying.
That's right. I mean, the song is playing, so
The song is playing.
the song is
Like,
playing,
that's why I'm
so
confused.
there is hope. So there is.
That's why I'm confused why it doesn't show. I might have to restart the client. If I have to restart the client, I will cry.
Oh no,
Please.
that's gonna be terrible for the economy.
Please, Speed, I need this.
Yeah, well, better checking up on it. You had that Free-Mod 1, you just won it in a very badass manner, double easy. This time around, though, this Free-Mod 2, it has quite different multipliers from what we had in Free-Mod 1. In Free-Mod 2, you only have 1.5x for easy and 2.1x for easy HD, so you will actually not get over 1 million score if you FC the map with easy only. It's gonna be around 750k, even if you assess it with easy only. So you see there is a completely different multiplier. The map is anti-mode CS5 AR8, and that's why it is quite easy to play it with easy, no matter how ironic that sounds. Therefore, easy on this map is actually not that favorable if you ask me, so I'm really excited to see how Sweden will handle that mod combination situation. And same thing for Netherlands, because they also had Devrimon and Fremont 1 picking that easy, and right now it doesn't seem so. You see, there are no easies on the side of both of the teams, actually, and they know exactly. Never mind, we did not see Pompey, but I guess we got another easy player on the side of this of the Swedish roster. With HD Easy, once again, the scoreboard is gonna be quite different from what it seems like, because at the end we will have to double Pompey's score. But still, it is a quite easier machination than we had in Free-Mod 2, and so far it's just the early days. Heavy Metal for Life finding the opening break, same goes for Randy Kuma and Devrimon, but doesn't quite matter.
Yeah, according to someone here in the chat, apparently the map is sold, it doesn't show stats. I don't know how accurate it is. I think there's maps that it shows. I think it's just bugged for me. That might be the case. I think I've gotten every single bug possible, but as we ignore the technical difficulties and we look at the actual situation of the map, Pompey is holding the hidden easy SS right now, which is really good for their case. Even though the multiplier is a bit lower than Free-Mod 1, it's still a noticeable multiplier, to the point where it's gonna make a difference. Even though Sweden already have the point lead, even with that break from Siga, they have quite a few combos to their side, as Netherlands is kind of struggling on this map quite a bit. Not exactly the easiest map to come and play against into Sweden, considering the low AR gimmick players they are OR, as we see a huge break there from everyone. Red Golem, the only FC on their side, is kind of their only lasting beacon, even though Heavy Metal for Life has a really nice recovery on the hidden HR.
For sure, and here we are with the first Ki, and there is no score multiplier needed. You see that the lead is growing rapidly towards Team Sweden, and they still have that SS from Pompey with HD Easy. Holy, 75k now. They see that break. They know that, well, maybe something is still on the table, but that is gonna be really hard to bring to grab for Team Netherlands. They need basically a double break from both Rand Yakumo and Pompey. And only then, if they do not break, they will be able to bring it back. 1/3 of the map left. That is their last chance. That is their last hope. But so far, Sweden looks like Titan at war.
Yeah, Sweden is just looking truly. They truly look as solid as a team could look on a map like this. Maybe not perfect, maybe not flawlessly, but then again, you have a person like Pompey right now that they are still maintaining that hidden SS on the easy. It's just it's amazing to see. I'm curious to see if they will manage to hold for this ending section, especially considering it gets quite tricky. And with the nerves, it might be too much for them. We see it breaks from Team Sweden. The score lead does switch over, but with the easy multiplier, I don't think it matters. As we do see Pompey unfortunately finding the break on that easy hidden FC and SS that were holding until the end of the map. But I think with the multiplier, I think the score should be more than enough, and especially with Sige also helping with a good recovery. Sweden should have this in the bag unless my mental maths is completely wrong.
Now you have to count around 400k on top of Swedish score right now, so it is gonna be their win since Netherlands they don't have any easies. You know, they saw that breach into defense at the end. They start bringing it back, but you know the time was taken not on their side. And with that, Sweden, they are gonna be finishing that map with a statement. You know, our free mod skillset variety is superior, and you cannot do anything about it. That's exactly what's happening. And quite consistent quite consistent victories on those free mod maps, so good for them. But now you actually do not have that free mod pool left right here in this matchup, so they will need to think of something different, but that is a story for another couple of minutes. In another couple of minutes we will get to see, unless they get a breakpoint off of Netherlands. Speaking of, Netherlands need to do something. They wanted Nomad 5, and yeah, I'm coming back to it again. A DT2 or Nomad 2 would be great, and we're in fact seeing Panther, Ray, Dean, Figdaz.
Yeah, the picks and bans on the laser client Wilted Rose not available. Information has to be known. But yeah, DT2 is a strong pick for Netherlands. Unfortunately, it's been kind of tricky for them this match. It's been kind of with ups and downs on the tapping picks. We saw Sweden what they did on the Nomad 5, but then again, they did win one of the DTs off screen. They did win that DT3 at the beginning of the match. Maybe they hope they get another performance like that here, but we'll see how it goes for them. This DT2 is quite tricky. It could come down again to the small margins and consistency that we've seen throughout the match, where some of the players felt a lot more comfortable on tapping than others, and in the case for the Nomad 5, Sweden were super comfortable. In the case for DT3, Netherlands had a great run through it, but you can't really count out any of the two teams. Both of the teams are more than capable playing maps like this. It's just gonna come down to which team has more practice and more consistency right now going into it, as we're gonna get right underway with this DT2.
Yeah, I just hope for Netherlands that it will not backfire on them, as we've seen a lot of breakpoints, and by a lot I mean like every single time, no, every second time the map was being played in different matches, it was a breakpoint that it speaks for itself. It is 1 minute 20 seconds, and we shall wish best of luck to all of these players.
The jump scare from the Fremont
This
on heavy
jump
for me.
scare is kind of wild.
They were just staring at me on that client. They're staring into my soul. And this map is also gonna stare into the people's soul as we will get right underway with these DT2. It's kind of do or die for Netherlands here, as Sweden is on match point. They need to win this to even contested the Sweden's last pick. So we'll see if that gets to happen as we see an early break here from Heavy Metal for Life, and the score instantly shifts over to Sweden.
Oof, yeah, the accuracy here is suffering a lot, not only on the Dutch side, but also for Sweden. And Zeus finding that break is actually gonna help Netherlands. It's slowly but surely, even with not such superior accuracy, is gonna turn to the Netherlands' favor, and they will have the upper hand. But so far, it doesn't seem so. That OD10 speaks volumes, and you know, all of those Swedish players are just not letting that slide. They are feeling really confident in it. They see that break, and Baz, it's only last quarter of the map left.
This is a short map. If you ever see one, Nick found a bouncer raid. That was not a real raid. I saw the landing raid. I was about to panic, but no, they're still holding. Unfortunately, it's all
No
in the
way.
accuracy right now, and it's just gonna come down to the end where just nothing between these teams. That break from Heavy Metal for Life at the beginning of the map was pretty much what decided this whole pick. As yeah, Sweden just wins this really quickly. Kind of anticlimactic end to the match where maybe we expected a bit more from Netherlands, but still it came down to just the small differences and consistencies. And yeah, for the side of Sweden, consistency was key, and they played really nicely throughout this whole match. It would have been interesting to see how what were the differences in that DT3. Unfortunately, if one it didn't come to the technical difficulties at the beginning, maybe we would have actually seen. But yeah, not exactly not exactly optimal from my side. I apologize.
It's fine. It's fine. Thank you for watching. But yeah, you know, that DT3. The accuracy was. It's only the accuracy that wasn't on the side of Team Netherlands. The combo was on their side. It wasn't their advantage, but it just wasn't enough because 30% of your score made up of that accuracy that you needed to rely on. And unfortunately, it was just a bit behind the Swedish roster in terms of that finger control. Once again, that OD10 speaks for itself. And you know, Baz, overall, this matchup, it was pretty damn close. Like those three mods that seemed to be like really favorable for Team Sweden, they like Netherlands still managed to put up some great competition for them. It was 100k, 200k score differences, which is not a lot. It is not like 1 million score difference that we saw in the previous match of Poland versus Ukraine, where there were like even, I believe there was even like 2 million score difference. So yeah, this one was pretty consistent for both of the sides, and it's just that, you know, you have the lower SR pool, and it was a bit of a coin flip for Team Netherlands. They lost those two breakpoints, and that was something that cost them the entire game. But do not get sad, all the Dutch fans, and of course all the Dutch players, because you need to lose 3 times to get actually knocked out of the Swiss stage, which is not something that you get right now, because well, you will have a lot of chances to just climb up the Swiss stage later on, like next weekend, and of course you will have more and more chances. So it is not grounds to worry, it's just the early days and you still have what it takes. But for Sweden though, seems like a very strong start, and they will advance to 1-0 bracket Swiss stage. And that is pretty much the story of the day, Baz. I think this is the last Swiss stage round 1 matchup for this weekend, so next weekend is gonna be the second match.
Yep, not a lot to add. I think you summed up everything in the match quite nicely. But yeah, I think this match, even though the score ended up being what it was, I feel like this match is as close as it could have been. Like even if we didn't get to the tiebreaker, I feel like this match is just pretty much was a battle of tiebreakers, because every single map, except maybe that Nomad 5 where it was a bit of a bigger difference, has been close to the wire. So it was nice to see both teams performing to their absolute limits. And yeah, this technically marks the end of first round of Swiss, and we'll be moving into the second round of Swiss. So expect to see the matchups at least announced soon. By soon I mean probably tomorrow. Maybe today.
Probably tomorrow, maybe today if we get really productive. But overall, people will not be able to actually sight read anything because it's gonna be the same pool that they have already played. And yeah, this is gonna be tough to watch because of how low SR the pool is, and this is something that will actually be good for some of the lower seeded teams because yay, it's low SR, we can actually play that. And for some of the from high tier teams, it's actually gonna be quite terrible because it's just gonna be really easy to them to miss on basically anything. That's why you saw like 2 or 3 breakpoints in the UK match, which was seed 2 versus seed 15 team, and Austria managed to pull off some crazy performances. So yeah, maybe we'll see even more upsets in the round 2, because so far it's only been Italy versus Kazakhstan, where it was seed 8 or seed 9, so it's not really an upset, and Kazakhstan won 5-4, so it was a really intense matchup. But yeah, we shall wait and see how those teams adapt to this pool with time. And with that, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to be finishing it off. Baz, want to take the honors? Oh, all right. That's pretty terrible. So yeah, okay, I'll finish it off in this case. Thank you all for watching, ladies and gentlemen. You have been watching the 5 Digits European Cup 2026 first round of Swiss stage, finally ending. In the commentary booth, you had me, Philoxen. Joining me today is the lovely Bizonero, and as well as being the streamer for this matchup. So yeah, never. Baz just said never again. I can hear him out on that for sure. But with this, it's gonna be your 5-26 staff team signing off. Bye bye, everybody, and we will see you soon.